Our next guest is an elementary school counselor in Virginia, and during her time on the job, she comes across many homeless children. So Christie Jones published a book called Are We Home Yet?, which brings attention to this cause. She's here to talk about it, her book and the issue of child homelessness. Thank you so much for joining us. And I know we want to show folks what your book looks like. You said this was just hot off the press, really, this past Sunday, not even a week old.
Yes.
And this is a really important topic for you as a school counselor.
Yes, it is.
Tell me, your years. How long have you been a school counselor now?
This is year 13 for me. And by the way, thank you for having me. Yes. So I've been in an elementary school as a school counselor for 13 years.
13 years.
Yes.
So how big of an issue is child homelessness you see in schools? How big of an issue is it, especially here in Virginia?
I think it's bigger than what it's perceived to be because the children are trying to not be on the radar. They're trying to hide what's going on with them. And so I don't think that there are too many accurate numbers. There are some good numbers, but we probably won't really get a good number on how big it is. And I think it's more prevalent than we all realize.
Do you think that sometimes it goes underreported in schools? Schools don't necessarily know which children might be homeless?
That is correct. They don't know, and actually homeless has many different definitions. And so if the public were aware, or if our families were aware of the definition of homeless, then they would realize that there are some ways that the school can help them, that can provide resources and services to them. So what they don't know is that homeless is defined as someone who lives in a motel, or someone who lives in their car, or someone who doubles up with another family. Like if you have a relative that loses their home and they need a place to live. As a family member, you're just going to take them in, but there are resources available to them. And sometimes our homeless live on campgrounds as well.
And a lot of these kids, it does affect their learning, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. They will have gaps in their learning. And also what happens is that their nutrition takes a turn, because if you're living in a motel, you don't have access to a stove, so you aren't able to, cook food on the stove or put food in the oven. So you're eating a lot of processed foods, or you're eating out a lot, which can be costly as well. And if you are transient, you're getting gaps in your learning, because as you move from one county to the next, the curriculums change. And so whereas one county is more rigorous in their academics, another one may not be as rigorous. But if you're moving around a lot, you're missing out on a lot.
And now your book, it's a fictional story about a young boy. Tell me about him and kind of what was your inspiration behind him?
Okay, so the book is about Max, and Max is in second grade. And my inspiration for Max is really a compilation of children that I've worked with, that I had in mind at the time that I wrote the book. I was really looking for a resource to have to use with an influx of homeless children we had that particular year. And I couldn't find anything. And so I just decided to create a book using what I knew the kids were going through from what they had shared.
And this is to share with other students who might not realize that their classmate might be homeless. What do you want them to learn from this? What's important?
Well, what I want them to learn from that is that, well, one, to have empathy with other people, to develop compassion about what other people are going through, and also, appreciation for the things that they do have as well, and to bring awareness to homeless children, to the plight of homeless children.
Is there a solution? What can be done? Is it about communities getting together and recognizing the issue and trying to make some sort of an impact? What can be done?
Well, I feel like there's a multi-step to the solution. So there would have to be things like their parents and their guardians would have to have jobs that pay enough so that they can make the ends meet. So that would be things like minimum wage. And then they will need to live in an area where there is affordable housing. Because if we have a family that lives in a motel and they pay $350 a week to live in the motel, by the end of the month, that is $1,400 that they could have been somehow stashing away or paying towards rent somewhere else, or renting a home, or purchasing a home. So it really starts with education and awareness, and then we can put other things into place.
Okay. Well, and definitely this is a great start of that education process. Thank you so much for joining us. And more information, where can you find this book?
The book can be found on the TP Rewards website. That's www.tp-rewards.com/Are We Home Yet? All one word, all lowercase.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We will be right back.
Oh, Jesus.